Mary McMillan and I'm the course coordinator for the Diploma in Science. The idea behind the science pathways is that it really makes university study accessible for everybody. So we know that a lot of people maybe don't have a background in science. Maybe they didn't take science subjects in high school. Maybe they've been out of high school for a few years and working in another field and have realised they have a real passion for science. So what we're doing with the science pathways is allowing those people to have access to a university education in science. Doesn't matter if they don't have an ATAR, if they don't have any background in science, if they haven't even finished high school necessarily, they can still come and get entry into our Diploma in Science and do the science pathways. The really great thing is that by completing the science pathways within the diploma, that's going to allow our students to gain entry into further degrees at UNE. So if you complete the science pathways, by completing those sort of foundation units, you can then qualify for entry into a bachelor's degree. So if you wanted to go on and do a Bachelor of Science or Sports and Exercise Science, Biomedical Science, Agriculture, Environmental Science, we have pathways to help students go from the diploma straight into those bachelor degrees. So one of the things that sets our science pathways apart from other enabling courses that you can do at universities is that the courses and the units that you complete within the science pathways, they actually can be counted towards further study. So if you're completing the science pathways and then you wish to go on and do a bachelor's degree, the units that you've done within the science pathways will be counted for credit towards that degree. So you're already partway towards completing your bachelor's degree. So for example, if a student was completing the science pathways and then wanted to go on and do, for example, sports and exercise science, the units that they've completed within the science pathways, they can count a minimum of 4 of those units towards their bachelor's degree, which is the equivalent of 1 trimester of full-time study or 2 trimesters of part-time study that will already be completed within their bachelor's degree. My role as the course coordinator is helping to provide some extra support for students within the diploma. For many students, it's their first experience with university. They might be their first in their families to go to university. We may have some disadvantaged students, and so my role as the course coordinator is to help support them through that transition into university study and hopefully through the science pathways and into a full bachelor's degree at the end of it. And we have a lot of students who already are starting to complete the science pathways. We have some students that have gone on into things like biomedical science. We have students that have come through the diploma and they're now Vice-Chancellor's Scholars. So there's some really high achieving students coming through our science pathways and into those bachelor's degrees and hopefully onto a career in science. So some of the benefits in studying at UNE is we do have smaller class sizes than some other universities, which means you get a real personal sort of contact with your lecturers. You can turn up pretty much any time and come and speak with your lecturer personally, which is a really nice touch, I think, at UNE. We have really great facilities here, lovely campus, great natural setting. So one of the other great things about studying at UNE is we have flexible study. So we have a lot of students that study by distance education and they'll come and visit the campus for some intensive schools, but they can complete most of their study at home while they're working, while they're looking after their families. And I think that's really important for people.